October, the fruit on this tree was nearly ready for harvest. As you can see, the tree was loaded with fruit. Most of them still had a shade of green and were a bit small. They ranged in size from a radish to about the size of a small onion. By early November, I harvested the first set of fruit. Here are a few of the ones I took off the tree. A few days later, I harvested another 20 or so. The following week, several more were ready, so I harvested another round of about 30. By this time, most of the fruit had been harvested, so I decided to put the tree in the ground. This planting area was previously prepped by drilling holes with an auger that were about 3 feet deep and 12.5 inches in diameter, as you can see here. I later dug out those holes and squared off this area. As you can see in this picture, I added some water to the hole. I wanted to see how long it would take the water to drain in order to ensure I had reached a depth that would provide good drainage, which turned out to be just over 3 feet deep. I prepped the hole by adding a layer of lava rock and then a layer of sand on top of that. I also drilled some holes for a deep root watering system that I added in this section. The holes were also about 3 feet deep and about 3 inches in diameter. As you can see here in this pic, I cut some perforated pipe and then filled the outside area with lava rock. Then I placed soil on top of that. Next, I placed a couple of 2x4 boards along this area. The fill dirt I used for this section was a mixture of native soil, sand, worm castings, organic soil, and some perlite. I also mixed in some azomite and mycorrhiza. After filling this area, I spread some packing paper on top. As you can see in this pic, I placed a couple of 15-gallon containers in the ground when I filled this area with dirt. I wanted to leave a couple of holes ready for tree planting. I then added a layer of wood shavings. Next, I added some cardboard on top. And finally, I added some wood chips on top of that. The paper, wood shavings, and cardboard should provide plenty of food for the worms. I'm hoping all this work will draw plenty of them to this area. I'll have to dig up this section in about 8 months or so to see if it was worth the effort. The tree was planted in this hole as seen here in this pic. I planted the tree with the root ball slightly exposed. I then covered the exposed root ball with pumice. Lastly, I covered the surrounding area with cedar wood chips. The section this tree is planted in is my Espalier area. After planting, I did some very light pruning. I wanted to give the tree a little time to recover from being transplanted to the ground before I pruned it for Espalier growth. I'll come back in a couple of months or so and prune it more aggressively in order to train the branches for Espalier growth. The final count of my harvest was around 100 mandarins. It's not bad for a tree that's only 4 feet in height. While the size of the mandarins were a bit small, the taste, which was a mix of sweet citrus with a slightly tart flavor. It was better than any store-bought mandarin I've ever had. I had so many mandarin that I decided to make a marmalade. With the remainder of this video, I'll show you how I made it. For this recipe, you'll need the following. I used about 25 mandarins because they were a bit small. If you can find some that are average size, you may be able to get away with using much less. The lemon is optional. You can use this recipe with or without it. If adding lemon to the recipe, the taste will be slightly less sweet with a bit of a tang. Flavor is still good. For the sugar, I used 1.5 cups. You can go up to 2 cups or less depending on how sweet you prefer your marmalade. First, wash the mandarins and remove the top stem and discard, as seen here. Cut the ends off the lemon and discard the ends. Slice into quarter-sized pieces. Peel fruit and save peels. Chop all peels as fine as possible. Be sure to remove any seeds, then puree fruit in a blender, a few at a time. Once all the fruit is blended, it should render about 2 cups. In a medium-sized pot, add the 2 cups of citrus puree, 2 cups chopped peel, half cup sugar or whatever amount you desire, and a half cup of water. Stir until completely mixed. Place on high heat until mixture reaches a boiling point while continually stirring. Once mixture reaches boiling, reduce heat and keep it at a lower heating point while still maintaining a slight boil. Keep heating for about 40 minutes. The marmalade is done when there is no crunch to the peels. Once done, allow it to cool, then refrigerate for a couple of hours and it will be ready to serve. Enjoy. Don't forget to click on the links below to see other videos I've posted and hit the subscribe button below to get notifications for newly posted videos. Please like and share this video. Thank you for watching.